Good morning. Welcome back to today's Morning Moxie with Larisa. Have you missed me? I think it has been about a minute, but I haven't been sitting on my hands exactly. I have been very pensive and deep in my thoughts about, what's next. And really what I have become obsessed with is moving the needle. I think that to a large degree, I have become somewhat easy on myself in the acceptable level of progress. And part of it is that, just like anybody else who's on the grand journey, we have certain expectations. And if those expectations aren't met, what do we do to get to the next level? And that's part of the issue. And then part of the situation is that, what was I going to say? I'm not sure. But, the things that are within my control and the things that are outside of my control, and like when my computer is fighting with me, I feel like that's out of my control, but it does take quite a toll on me. And sometimes I just don't want to deal with the computer that hates me, but it's working. It's talking to me now. So I thought I would visit with you today and we can have a little morning moxie. And what I really wanted to share with you really along the lines of moving the needle, it's the end of the year and we start to kind of look back, what have we accomplished and are we happy with those accomplishments? And if we're not happy with those accomplishments, what are we going to do about it? So I want to introduce you to little Acorn, meet Puny Pebble. That is the topic of today's morning moxie. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Now, I'm introducing little Acorn to Puny Pebble because I'm assuming that you've heard that the analogy or metaphor that from the little acorn grows the mighty oak. And I take that to mean that our small steps that we take will one day become, something awesome. And that to me is one side of the picture. But the other side of the picture is, well, the puny pebble, which in my mind are those actions that we take, right? So say, for example, the individual small pebbles of progress, if you will, those are our daily actions. We set our goals, but we cannot just set a goal and presto change or what happens. There are things we have to do to get us from point A to point B. And I'm suggesting that these pebbles become the glue that hold the larger boulders, which I'm calling growth over time. It's similar to a snowball, but together, the pebbles and boulders of growth become your stepping stones to the peaks of success, if you will. And now I'm just going to take a stab at it and suggest that you have seen Red Notice. And if you haven't seen Red Notice, it's on Netflix. But there was a particular scene in there that really, I think, encapsulates what I'm trying to share with you right now. I don't want to do any spoiler alerts, but I'll just say that, anything that has Dwayne Johnson in, I'm probably going to watch because, I don't know if he's our deepest actor, but he's certainly, his movies are good. They're entertaining. And, I think he doesn't take himself too seriously. I don't know. Don't want to model myself after that, and that he takes him, he seems to be very prolific, very goal-oriented, and very successful in the journey that he's taking. And I do like that, he's a good-looking guy. He has to know he's a good-looking guy, but I don't think he takes it too seriously. And I will just add, before I give you this little nugget of what I want to share with you, is that the reason I'm recommending it is because number one, it was entertaining. And then number two, it actually had a twist that I did not see coming. And I watched a fair amount of movies and I can usually see the plot twist. I'm like, oh my gosh, do I have to write this for you people? But this one, they snuck in on me, I think. But anyway, it was pretty cute. And it also had Ryan Reynolds in there, another favorite actor. So this is not a movie review. There is a scene in the movie that, again, hopefully I'm not giving away too much, because I do want you to see it and then tell me what you thought about it. But there was a prison escape scene. And while they were in prison, they had to build this wall of you guessed it, rocks. And Ryan Reynolds, I don't remember his character's name, but he wedged a smaller rock in between these layers, and it essentially, was the glue to hold the rock of walls in place. So when they were trying to escape, he remembered where he put this rock, so he pulled the rock out, and of course the wall crumbles and they get out. Now, realistic, I don't know. I said entertainment value, but it was a great visual for this metaphor of the tiny pebble, those actions that become the boulders, in this case, holding the glue that holds the actions together for our greater goals. Anyway, I may have slipped around the corner somewhere. So I just want you to understand that persistence, number one, is powerful. And the puny pebble, if you will, is powerful because, some days when we are firing on all cylinders, we're just, I don't know what to tell you. We're just leaping tall buildings in a single bound, doing big things. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of little things that we do that lead us to those big things. It's not always going to be an earth-shattering action that we take. Those are the incremental steps that we take, blocking out our time on our calendar, making sure we get our focus time in to do our deep work, the important stuff, because we can be busy as heck, but is our busyness really helping us get to where we want to go? So I want you to embrace the puny pebble. I want you to embrace persistence, and I want you to come back, stay with me as we round out this year. Because as I said, I'm really focusing on moving the needle, and moving the needle is my concept of taking those big changes. I don't want you to be hard on yourself, but don't go too easy on yourself so that you're satisfied with just taking little baby steps. I want you to take giant steps towards your goal, because the faster you reach those big milestones that are really going to be life-changing, the more you can build on those big milestones to get you to the peak of success that we're all trying to get to, right? So I'm going to put together a challenge that is going to move us through those giant steps, if you will, so that when we do our check-in with ourselves, remember, we're supposed to be having a personal planning retreat once a month. I'm suggesting the last Saturday of the month, to where you look over your goals, your achievements for that month. Did you achieve the goals? Were there too many detours, or were there changes in your goals? Progress made, progress yet to be made, and then next steps. So last Saturday of each month, personal planning retreat. And then, as I said, stay tuned for the challenge that I'm going to put together so that we can move the needle to our next grand adventure. And anywho, that has been today's Morning Moxie with Larisa. I hope you followed all my metaphors, because I know I went around the corner there for a minute, but puny pebble, that is going to be your success beacon for the new year. So I will see you on the next video. And once you see red notice, leave your comments below. I want to know if you liked it. Did you figure out the plot twist? Did you, I don't know what you thought. Okay, I will see you next time. Ciao.